Hi. Welcome to week 4. If you're new here, I'm chronicling my internship. If you want to check out my other videos just to stay up to date, I've created a playlist. But once again, you don't have to do anything ever. I love free will. So I wanted to start this week off with talking about field clothing. It was a little difficult to figure out what works and what doesn't, especially with, fit checks in the field. So I figured I'd give some recommendations of some shops as well as some items to buy for the field. Good spots to buy field gear are REI or Dick's Sporting Goods on occasion, but mostly REI. I recommend also secondhand shops like Depop, maybe going to a thrift store to see what's up, but to each their own. I want to start by recommending PFG, which is a series made by Columbia. It's used for fishing, but also they make these really nice button downs that are very sweat resistant and very comfortable. I have a pink one. I love it. Pink for girls. They also make shorts for the PFG series that I've heard very good things about from my coworkers. My raincoat of choice obviously is my LO Bean raincoat. I recommend their raincoats just because they are very good at keeping you dry. I think that's very much so the bare minimum, but on occasion, raincoats can just absorb water like a sponge. So finding a good raincoat is really important, especially for field work. I love Patagonia baggy shorts. The patterns are super funky and cool. They're comfortable. They're like sweat resistant and water resistant for the most part. REI has a very similar kind of short there as well. It's very good. I think it's a little cheaper than Patagonia. But I definitely recommend getting pairs of, kind of swishy shorts that have pockets in them and can keep you dry if need be. When it comes to doing field work, especially in sandy locations, I recommend using a kind of sandal. I use Tevas personally. My coworkers use Chacos. But having a sandal that you can almost kind of hike in if you need to is super excellent, and I very much so recommend it. The sunglasses I use are Gooder sunglasses. They're inexpensive, very nice, and they're kind of geared towards runners, which basically means they stay on your face pretty well. Additionally, my coworker recommends getting one of those glasses, necklace kind of things, so they can stay on you at all times and you don't really have to worry about losing them. Other things my coworker recommends is a pair of rain pants, as well as a buffer, which is just a neck gaiter or a handkerchief, or I use bandanas, and those kind of just keep bugs out of your mouth, which is super excellent and great and definitely essential for fields that have lots of mosquitoes in them. I hate you mosquitoes so much, die. I have a pair of pants. They're like the tearaway kind of zip away pants. They're from Outdoor Voices. They're on the pricier side, but I really recommend them because they're comfortable, they're lightweight, and they're really, really good for the field, especially on hot days. It's also fun to just be like, oh my god, zip, 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 my pants are gone. But, Other things that are recommended is a waterproof bag and a waterproof phone case. Just all of these things are very circumstantial, but I feel like as a general statement, those are good things to have on you, especially in the field. So let's talk about what's been up this week. What have I been doing? I started the week off with a day off and I slept for 14 hours. 14 hours! I mean, I guess, waking up at 4:45 in the morning definitely can do something to you sleep-wise, so I guess I caught up on that, which was good. Unfortunately, the day was pretty much over as soon as I crawled out of bed, which was kind of like, boo, but I can't do anything about that now. Had another encounter with an alligator, but this time it was a juvenile. He was in the middle of the road and we had to kind of beckon him off the road, which was a silly little excursion, but really cool to see another alligator. I got my first postcard this week from my friend Noam, currently visiting Ireland, which was really such a treat to receive such a little nice note from her. Shout out Noam. I also received a package from my friend Theo. It had a few drawings in there, a funny hee hee ha ha or so, but it was really appreciated. I really like hearing back from other people when I send them little postcards, so thanks guys, really appreciate it. Yeah. Then I started the week off back at work with a cage that was actually torn off by a human being. You wouldn't tear up the cage to see, or what's under there or free something, because it doesn't make any sense. But whatever. Yay, footsteps. Yay, yay, yay. And then it happened again. Yeah. I saw another mom. It was really irregular because this mom was a 9 a.m. nester, and normally they like to nest a lot later in the night or earlier in the morning. But she was older. She just false crawled, but it was really crazy because there was a herring seagull that was all up in her grill.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
No! Really, really sus. Don't know what was going on there. She was definitely older than the first mom I saw, and she had this stunning pattern on her noggin. She was just so beautiful, and it was really awesome to see another mom. Again, she didn't have a tag. The previous mom I saw didn't have a tag either, but there was a site as to where the tag was. Sometimes they remain untagged, and we never see them ever once and catch them and tag them. But in the case of the mom I saw last week and this week, they were tagged, but the tag site was just there. We also encountered maybe a yellow crowned heron. He was just standing in the middle of the road like a Nimrod, and he was just so silly. His name is Edward Finkelton. He is my shining star, and I love him so much. We've seen him every now and then past that point, but hopefully in the coming weeks we will see him more. But as herons grow, they become less and less stupid, if that makes sense. My days off were Thursday and Friday of this week, so happy 4th of July. Me and my coworkers, we went to my boss's house and he cooked for us, and it was so super awesome. And I had a hot dog. Yeah! On Friday, I wandered around, bought more postcards. Keep your eyes on your mailbox if you're one of my good friends. I really love to send postcards out to let people know that, like, hey, hi, what's going on? Love ya. And so maybe you're wondering about our creature of the week. This creature of the week is kind of a common one, but this is the southern toad. I'm going to pass this off to Amanda to tell us more about this funny little creature. Thank you so much, Amanda. You know what time it is. Creature of the week. This week's creature of the week is the southern toad. As some of you may know, I am very interested in frogs and toads and salamanders and Sicilians. You know, the lesser known amphibian brother. But I wanted to talk about these guys just because they are so awesome. Their scientific name is Anaxyrus terrestris, and they kind of look like cane toads, but they're not. Cane toads are an invasive species. They're a lot bigger. They can be found down here in the south. And, you know, I don't really like to not consider a frog or a toad not my friend, but I don't really know how I feel about them. Anyways, the main distinguisher between them is they have these bumps in between their eyes, which makes them different from the cane toads. However, they have these ridges back here behind their eyes, which can make them easily confused for cane toads, unfortunately. These guys are a medium-sized frog. Their color ranges from red to black, but mostly they kind of stay in the brown range. They have dark spots on them, and these dark spots have an irregular amount of warts on them, making it a little easier to identify them because there's not a set number of warts within their spots. They always kind of look a little angry, which is so awesome. I love it when creatures just kind of look angry for no reason. These guys are insectivores, which means they eat crickets, cockroaches, snails, maybe mosquitoes. Jury's still out on that one. I can hope, though. They're nocturnal like many frog species, and they can be found in sandy soils, hanging out, near bodies of water, such as marshes and swamps, and they love to come out when it rains. It's really awesome to get to see them and say hello and go, oh my god, those are toads. On the way down to the beach access, we often see them on the road, and obviously I want to stop and go ahead now. But they're really silly creatures. Here is an example of what their call sounds like. Isn't that just so beautiful? They are recognized as least concern by the IUCN, as well as being a relatively stable population, which is super awesome. Rock on amphibians. Because the reality of the situation is 41% of amphibians are in fact endangered. Isn't that so scary? But not these guys, which is super awesome. So maybe you might see them around, and I hope you do. Back to you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda! So that's pretty much what's been up so far. It's getting easier to wake up, it's getting easier to figure things out. And I am still having just such a wonderful time here. But I wanted to include some takeaways for the week. I know it's such an endless cycle, but please, oh my god, I'm begging you, please do your laundry and wash your dishes, because it will pile up very, very quickly. Please, please, please. I know, it sucks so bad to have to clean your plate every single day, and yada yada, this, that, the other thing, but it's so important. My other takeaway is there was a little incident this week with some boating stuff, and I was really, really hard on myself just because it was a very tough situation. But it's important to remember that people are not nearly as hard on you as you are on yourself. So give yourself a break and understand and recognize that it will be okay. So that was week 4. Thank you for watching. Super appreciate your support, as always. Excited to tell you more about my internship in the coming weeks. And yeah. Okay, bye.